This is Pete, or Kenshin1913, along with
Mom.
And this is another Cooking with Kenshin1913. What are we making today?
We're making a Ritz Crackers ice cream dessert.
Yeah, and it's going to be awesome.
It has that little combination of salt and sweet,
And it's
and
cold.
it's really good.
And it's really good.
Okay, our ingredients are Ritz Crackers.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to use 2 sleeves of them.
Yeah.
We're going to use a stick and a half of butter or margarine.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to use 1/2 gallon of vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, make sure it's softened.
Yeah. 1 cup of milk.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to use, you can use either this big, this is a 5.1 ounce of instant Jell-O vanilla pudding.
Yeah.
Or you can use 2 of the small ones, which are 3 ounces.
Yeah, and then what do we got over there?
Over here we have whipped cream.
That's 1 cup whipped cream.
That has been whipped.
I whipped it this morning.
Or you can use
Cool Whip, right?
container, an 8-ounce container of Cool Whip.
Yeah. So let's get started.
Okay, and we forgot to tell you the size of the pan. Either you can use a long pan. This is a 8 by 13, I believe.
Oh, I thought it was 13 by 9. But...
Or 13 by 9. Or we're going to actually put ours in 2 smaller dishes because Pete's going to take one with him tonight to a gathering. So what we're going to do is a Ziploc bag.
We're going to take out 2 sleeves of Ritz or buttered salted crackers. You don't have to use these. You find buttered salted crackers, you go right ahead. And yeah, they made them smaller since we've done this last. You having trouble?
Yeah.
They've also made it a lot harder to steal the crackers out of the sleeves. So what you want to do is put them in here, because we're going to be banging them up with a hammer.
This would be fun for a little helper.
Yeah.
Because you're going to let them break up the cookies.
Yeah. Yeah, because we're gonna crunch them because these things are gonna be for the crust and they're gonna be for the top.
For the topping.
And it's gonna be awesome.
So initially, you just
crush them with your
crush them up.
Huh?
These are pretty good. They're actually easier than crunching up graham crackers.
Yeah. The Ritz crackers are just so damn good to begin with. But this is a great recipe. Especially in the summer.
Ritz crackers are great as part of a stuffing.
Yeah.
Inside a lobster, or if you're making stuffed shrimp.
Mm-hmm.
They just give that great little buttery taste.
If you really want to let out your aggression, I guess you can get a hammer on this and really crush these crackers.
Yeah, you have to be careful not to break the bag, because then you'll have cracker crumbs all over the place.
Yeah. That's one thing you have to worry about with the hammer.
But as you can see, these are breaking up really good. So what we're trying to do is to make crumbs, because we're going to put butter in here, and this is going to be the crust of the ice cream dessert.
It's going to be real good. Let me tell you, this is salty and sweet. The first time I had it, my Aunt Elaine made it. The same lady who helped make the yogurt pie or the Jell-O pie. She helped make this. Or she made it, and it was so damn good.
It's one of those desserts that you taste it, and you just want a little bit more, and a little bit more.
Yeah. It's so good.
Okay.
I think that's pretty good.
So this is done, and so we're going to then melt our butter, and we'll be right back.
Alright, so we're melting the 1.5 sticks of butter or margarine, depending on what you have. You can use either. Yeah, this shouldn't take too long. And then we're gonna pour it into a bowl with Ritz crackers or something, right? And make a crust. You can also use the microwave if you want. It wouldn't be a bad idea. When you're melting the butter, keep it on a low heat because you don't want to burn the butter. You just want to melt it. So while we're waiting, should we start the other thing or just melt the butter?
No, we're going to melt this butter
first,
because then we have to pat it into the pan.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I've only made this like once or twice, or watched people make it once or twice, so I'm not 100% sure on how the crust works. I usually help make the filling, which is delicious. Now with the ice cream over here, you can use vanilla bean or vanilla, but you want to make sure that you let it thaw real good, because you need to be able to mix it along with the pudding and the whipped cream and all that. Actually, I think the whipped cream goes on top.
Just on top.
We haven't had this dessert in a long time, but it's still delicious. So yeah, we're just gonna.
And you can experiment with other flavors.
Mm-hmm.
I have in the past, and I still go back to the vanilla.
Yeah.
I think that the vanilla is the best.
Like you could try, you know what you could always try? You could always try to do this like version with Oreo cookies and maybe like a chocolate or some other kind of ice cream. Might be pretty good.
Yeah, and then you could actually do the base different. So if you did an Oreo cream ice cream,
Yeah.
you probably could do like a chocolate Oreo
graham
cookie on the
cracker
bottom,
kind
or a
of
graham cracker.
Mm-hmm.
So you can change it up, but this is the original traditional recipe.
From Elaine.
Okay, so we're gonna put our crackers.
Not all of them.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, all of them?
Mhm.
So I was gonna say, I know you gotta put some on the top. So now you just want to be careful when pouring it, because the butter or margarine could still be very hot. And this is a great recipe, I think, for the summer and the fall, because as it starts to get like a little cooler.
You know what would be great?
What?
They came out a couple of years ago with a pumpkin ice cream.
With ginger snaps? That would
Oh
be yum.
my goodness, that would be delicious.
Yeah, that would be really good. Yeah, pumpkin ice cream is the shizzle. The shizzle. But yeah, you just want to incorporate, using your term there, the Ritz crackers, or the buttered, the salted butter crackers, and the butter there.
And the butter, so that they're coated.
Mm-hmm.
And then what we're going to do
is get our little pans here and just take a spoonful, right?
Now you're going to use your hands.
Uh-huh.
It's not hot.
That's good. And just pat it in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
To make a nice crust. Now, does this have to go in the fridge?
Yes.
And then we can make the stuff?
No. The filling can go right in.
Oh, okay. But this goes in the fridge right now.
No, this is just going to stay like this.
Okay,
because then everything's going to go in the refrigerator.
Because you gotta give it some time to set up. Here. Go right here. Yeah, you gotta give it some time to set up. So now you're gonna take well, not the rest of it.
And now we're going to save some, because you want some of this crumb for
Yeah.
later on the top,
Yeah.
just as a garnish.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So once again, not too hot. You squinch it down until you make yourself a crust there. And it's really, really good.
Okay, so I just want to go wash my hands because
Yeah.
they're all oily.
And then we'll
I'll
get
be
to
right
making
back.
the filling.
Okay, so we're going to take our ice cream.
Hopefully it's thawed out enough. It should be.
And not too much. You don't want it soupy.
Yeah, you don't want it soupy, but you don't want it so it's so hard you can't mix it. So take that ice cream and dump it. And dump it. And dump it. There we go. Now, can you use a hand mixer with this?
You probably could.
Because that was something I was thinking of, maybe help you out, because I know it could still be a little thick and tough to move around. See, this is the only problem with it. I think this is why Elaine stopped making it. It's because of the ice cream. But yeah, so you just get the ice cream all smushed up a little bit. Because then we're going to add the pudding mixture into this.
And people are so surprised because you put this not back in the freezer.
No, you put it in the fridge.
In the refrigerator.
Yeah.
And they're amazed that it doesn't melt.
I think it's because of the pudding, when you put the pudding in there.
Yeah, I think it does. It consolidates it or something.
Yeah.
So we're going to
sprinkle the vanilla pudding mixture in there. And then add the milk. This is going to be delicious, man. I can't wait to take some. Because I haven't had this in the longest time, as I was talking about earlier. But you know what we could do, if we really wanted to, since I was just thinking about it, we could always do individual servings.
Yeah, you could.
Which would be pretty sweet too.
You could put them in little dessert cups.
Yeah. It's kind of like something me and my friend Rob were talking about. One day we're gonna make some mud pie, and it's gonna be delicious. But the thing about mud pie is it's very decadent and very heavy.
So you're going to add the milk a little at a time, and that helps you mix it better too.
But the mud pie that we make, or that he makes, is so rich and decadent that, like, after you eat it, if you eat too much of it, you'll feel like you're gonna die or fall into a diabetic shock. So the thing with that is we've been trying to think of ways to, well, he's been able to lighten the fat on it by using like fat-free cream cheese and fat-free other things, but we were thinking about some way to do it individual style, because if you did that, then you wouldn't feel like you gotta take a nap after you eat it. So the milk is basically used for the pudding, because if you didn't use that, then you'd probably get way too strong of a vanilla flavor, you think?
No, I don't think so, but it just helps incorporate it all.
Yeah, it helps mix it better. Okay. As you can see, it's kind of, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it is kind of turning a little more yellowish, like a yellowish tint to it. And do we mix the whipped cream in after this?
No, the whipped cream is just for the top.
Yeah. And we can put the whipped cream on top even after this?
After, yeah.
Oh, even... Oh, so
we'll let it set.
Yeah. So yeah, you want to put the milk in, what, like about a half or quarter of a cup?
Yeah, and as you're keep stirring.
This is going to be so good. Now we're using vanilla bean, which means you're going to see a little like vanilla bean specks in there, which is fine.
Yeah, I've used French
vanilla. We've used regular plain old vanilla that you find, and then we tried chocolate one time.
Yeah, and like I said, I still come back to the
vanilla.
To the vanilla, I think it's the best.
So yeah, the best thing to do here is definitely let the ice cream thaw. Because if it's not thaw, oh boy, does it take a while to... At that first stage when my mom was doing everything, it could take a long time.
Okay, so this took us maybe about 5-7 minutes to get it all nice and incorporated.
Creamy.
And as you can see, it almost looks like a pudding. Okay, so now what we're going to do... We're going to pour this in our container and just spread it around.
I guess if you really want to get crazy with this, you can make like 2 or 3 layers.
You actually could. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Like it could be like a trifle kind of thing. I wonder what kind of fruit might go good with it.
You know, I'm not sure if maybe fruit on the top.
Yeah.
I probably would not put fruit in the middle of it because that might change with the acidity and stuff of fruit. It might change the makeup of the ice cream in the pudding, and it may not set.
Yeah. Alright, so now that you've done this, we just want to put it in the refrigerator for about an hour.
Yeah, we're going to cover it with some tin foil or some saran wrap.
or whatever.
We're going to put it in the refrigerator. Then when we come back, we're going to put our whipped cream on top.
And a little bit of that.
And a little
crumble.
leftover of the crumbles. Okay, here we are about an hour after.
Yep, look, they've set up quite nicely. Now we're going to take the whipped cream that I whipped fresh this morning. And we're just going to put it on the top. This is going to be good. So you could use Cool Whip. So you want to take a spatula and just whip. And it's going to be a good day. Yeah. So what do you think there? You missed the spot right there. There you go. There you go. You know, a lot of people lately have been saying you eat with your eyes, right? And I'm eating the hell out of this with mine right now. It's so good. So yeah, you could use a 13 by 9 pan, but we're using 2 square pans because I'm bringing it over to a soiree. And I said I'd bring some dessert. Anyways, and this is 1 cup of whipped cream, or 8 ounces of whipped cream. And there you go. Look at that, beautiful.
Okay.
Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take remember those crackers we had with the melted butter and the crackers. We're gonna place it on top, garnish it with a little yum. And don't be stingy either. This is gonna be deliciously salty and sweet and cold. Something about salt and sweet and cold is just yum. Hot damn. So let us crack into one of these. Look how beautiful they look. Alright, let's take a piece. Go ahead. And always the first piece is hard because it's...
Oh yeah, I could already tell.
Yeah, maybe you need to let it sit more, but...
No, you can't let this sit too long.
Yeah.
You can't fool around with this. This is one of those dishes that you gotta, when you take it out, you gotta
eat all of it. Don't put it back in the refrigerator. You eat all of it. Yum.
It didn't come out too
Yeah.
bad.
Well, look
a little
at that.
bit. It did push down, so
Yeah, but
we gotta get it back in the fridge.
yes. So let's eat. Alright, so here is the Ritz ice cream dessert. Doesn't look good. It's gonna be good because it's salty and sweet. Mmm. Yeah, the crust on the bottom is really good. And the fresh whipped cream, not to give myself a pat on the back, but I will. It's very good. Mmm. So yeah, this is very good. A summertime, fall kind of meal. Dessert you'd probably want to make.
If you like cold stuff in the
Yeah.
winter, you can make it too with a
Yeah,
nice
yeah,
cup
yeah.
of coffee or a cup of tea.
Oh yeah, I can see that. But this has been Pete for Kenshin1913, and this has been another cooking with Kenshin1913.
And Mom,
And my mom, yes.
enjoy and happy eating.